Welcome to the channel. Thank you everyone for tuning in. So before I go into this video, let me explain the premise really quickly. Year on year, I do a good, bad and ugly of the previous year. So here to the right, you've seen I've done a good and bad ugly of 2022. And so far I've missed the good and bad ugly of 2023. And we are 4 months into 2024. But it is slightly quiet on Aliexpress, so it's probably the best time to do it now. We're only going to cover the significant releases, not to say every single watch is bad or ugly, only the ones that I pinpoint. So there may be some good watches which I just skim over in order to keep this video quite concise. So I'll focus on any watches that really stood out and they create some hype and they're significant enough for you guys to consider. Otherwise we'll have a list of maybe 40-50 watches which no one's got time for. So we start off 2023, going back to I think early Jan, when Proxima came out with this, the PX1697. So this PX1697, incredible watch for Proxima. They did revamp their whole brand image because they were known for the MM300s, which I still think Proxima make the best MM300 homage. But then so we come up with this 1697, and even towards the end of 2023 I reviewed them again because they have capitalized on this design. 39mm, really well finished. The lug to lug is very compact, I think it's around 46. Bracelets high end, it's got the on-the-fly adjustable clasp, screw-in links, really great bezel. You can see the great quality of parts used, so very popular watch for them. And in typical Proxima fashion, they've capitalized, as I said. So throughout the year they've made numerous colorways, numerous different releases, same case, just changed the design slightly. And these came with the P2500, incredible value for money, really high-end, high-quality finish. This did kick off 2023 really well for us watch enthusiasts out there. Next up was the Seestern S416, probably the best homage of this style, this GS diver, very premium finishing. The bracelet was amazing, case fantastic, bezel really good, dial really good. I think what threw a lot of people off, while the quality of the dial was good, the design, because they obviously looked at other places for the design. Now on choice, I think Aliexpress, you can get these for around £100, which is insane value for money. So if you like this design, it is a rather large watch. I think it was 44 or 46 mil, but for what it is, it's the best one out there. So the next one we'll bring your attention to is IXDAO ipose. So of course 2023 was the year we were introduced to these guys, and this is the first model, the Serica 5303 homage. And it took the Aliexpress world by storm, to be honest. It's got amazing build quality, and 2023 we really saw how well these watchmakers could make watches effectively. So in terms of the design, obviously they took everything from the ipose. Of course, they took everything from the Serica 5303, but they gave you also really good value for money. They gave you the Swiss Celita SW200 option for I think around £200 or just under, which is incredible. The finishing, the fit, the function of the watch, really good, really high end. The lume was awesome as well, and I recently just sold mine because my collection is kind of getting out of control, but it's a watch which I would have gladly kept. So a stunning watch, first introduction to IXDAO. We can see where they are now, so that was definitely a good watch to remember for 2023. So the next one that I want to talk about is this Thorn Vintage diver. So it's got those classical 38mm vintage diver looks. We know San Martin killed it with theirs, and these guys come along £116 £100 now. I've seen them low as 85 in the sales. They came with a few different design options. I reviewed another one late on in the year. You can't mess with this watch, pound for pound, great value for money. The only thing I didn't like was that faux rivet bracelet, but that's more me than anybody else. Apparently not everybody has issues with them. I did. But in terms of the function of the bezel, the build quality was, by far the most standout feature of this watch. And it is a, budget version of a San Martin. It's not far off the price of a San Martin for this same design. And of course, as long as you like the name, then it's a great alternative for less than half the price of one of the San Martins. So that's an incredible watch, and definitely goes down to one of the good ones in 2023. Next we had a Tactical Frog. This was a solar powered quartz watch, something different, homaging obviously the Seiko reissue. Yeah, it worked great. I loved the details on it. The build quality was really good as well. Great movement as well. And you know that funky frog that they have on the 12. So that was a good release by Tactical Frog. They are a bit quiet. They were really active, I think, 2022, but we've not seen too much from them this year. But the one that we did see, I was pretty impressed by this. I'll just skim over this one. So the San Martin, the 1968 reissue of M300. Yeah, not as good. I said it in the review. I had a couple of things which I wasn't too happy with. They could have definitely done better with this watch. But, you know, I hoped they'd smash it at the park because I like that design, but I wasn't too impressed with this. Next up, we've got Sugess and Seestern. So as you know, 2023 was the year of the GMT, and I favored the Sugess ones over the San Martin alternatives. Number one, I like the branding, I like the colorways as well. So you can see the one to the right, the black dial one. I really like what they did with that. It is quite, you know, faithful to the original. And NH34, yeah, you can't go wrong. Great build quality. You can see female end links on there. Great size as well. They had on the fly adjustable clasps. They had screw-in links, premium bracelets. And yeah, I really like the blue dial with the snowflake hands as well. So, and value for money versus San Martin, these were the better value for money options. Build quality almost on par. I'd say on par, to be fair. So even I think with this choice award or the choice deals, they're coming in at a really low price. So these were really good from Sugess and Seestern both. Next up, we've got a bit of a legend in the watch world of Aliexpress. Pagani design, yeah, they've always been around. They've always smashed it with some releases, very budget-friendly releases, and this was the latest one. So when they released the original colorway, very popular. I mean, that was popular a few years ago. Sold in the absolute thousands and thousands. And when they came after these moon swatch sort of colorways, they smashed it at the park. I reviewed, I think, 2 or 3 different variants. Amazing feedback from everyone. The build quality is insane for the price. I mean, in the sales, you get them low as like 40-50 pound now, and it's something that you can't knock. You can put it on different straps. It's an absolute strap beast, and because it's quartz as well, it's just a very good cheap watch that you can daily, you can throw around, and it looks somewhat decent as well. So another quick shout out to Pagani Design. They've done this style of watch for many years, but the new colorway they came out with, the chocolate brown bezel and that ice blue dial, that was awesome. The next significant release had to be these watches from Seestern, the S434CQ. You know what? When I made this video, and I still stand by it, it's the best value for money diver. You know, you got premium clasp, premium bracelet, on the fly adjustable, great size, sapphire ceramic, great function. This was a V1. They have since then made a V2 with a slightly bigger crown. I did review one, the rose gold version, but incredible value for money. These came out at 130, 140 pound. And if you put them against St. Martin, they come out with much better value for money. So that was an incredible watch. Yeah, and very significant for 2023. Sold in huge numbers, and that really kind of helped Seestern establish itself where they are. You know, a good, very decent line of models that they make. So we are nearing the end. I think we're towards the end of the year. This one did surprise me. So this is the San Martin SNO. I don't know. Is it SN0036? A bit of a cross between a Seiko and an Omega. But the watch was really nice. I think it was 39-40 mil. Great build quality as you expect from San Martin, and I'm quite critical of their watches, and this one did please me. It felt great in hand. It wore really good, and as I said, it did surprise me because I didn't expect how good it's going to be. Great quality dial as well, nice handset. You know, it was a really good watch. You know, you can't knock San Martin for some of the watches that they make. So next up, we had a couple of addies dive watches. So these were my first addies dive watches in 2023. And they came up with 2 models. So you had this Explorer 2 style with a quartz movement, a bit yellowy on the dial, a bit moccasin looking, but the value you could not argue with. Quartz GMT, great finishing on the case and bracelet. And this addies dive GMT, it did shock me, absolutely blew me away. Great value for money. You know, of course, a couple of little slight issues with the bracelet, etc. But on the whole, a really well-made watch. And I can say the same for the second watch, the dressy option, which is like a dressed up Explorer. They've capitalized on this one. They've made so many different dial options. So I'll link it in the video. You can see so many things about this watch. Automatic, a mineral glass, I believe. But, you know, really nice dial. Great value for money and good finishing. That's what everybody wants and which addies dive can give you. Next up is this Boltony. Bit of a shame on this one. I really like Boltony watches. I reviewed so many of them. I think really highly of them as well. But with this Hamilton khaki homage, they did mess up a bit. I believe the date window was too far in, right next to that 3 on the hour marker. It just threw me off the whole watch. So next up, I did a triple comparison on, the Pelagos releases. So we had a few Pelagos style watches released in 2023. And I picked the 3 main ones, which was Seestern, Octopus, and IXDAO, because that had just come out. Out of the 3, very tough decision. I couldn't call it as clearly. The Octopus had really good points, probably just pushed past the other 2. However, the IXDAO and the Seestern, again, held their own in this 3-way comparison. It just comes down to preference with this one, in all honesty. Good value for money, good build quality, and yeah, really nice watches with high quality dials and high quality parts. So I'm going to mention this one as well. So this was the watch from SH, a Christopher Ward 12 sort of design inspiration, £125 I believe, with a PT5000, and I got the SW200 version for, I think, something silly, I think under 200 I believe. Incredible watch, great finishing. It's actually worth me clicking the video. So as we're on the SH watch, I think 140 for a NH35. And what did I buy? If I can see, sorry, for the PT5000 is 140. Yeah, £200 for the SW200, and I bought the SNW200 off them. Fantastic watch, great accuracy, 40mm I believe, build quality, everything. I was quite blown away by this watch, in all honesty. I don't know how they did it, so that was definitely worth mentioning. We've not seen anything else from them this year. They gave me 2 models throughout the year. The other 2 were okay, but not as good as this. So we then come on to IXDAO's best release ever. This was the Engineer homage. The best finished watch on Aliexpress, full stop. This watch was so high quality, from the dial to the case. The build quality was amazing. They had an issue with the bracelet in the sense that there was no half links, but it wasn't a problem for me. I absolutely love this watch. I was so impressed with the level of detail, the level of finishing. Absolutely smashed it out the park. So if you like a watch with this integrated design, you want it to be really premium, high end from AliExpress, probably the best finishing you can get aside from San Martin, this is definitely one to look at. So the next one I can say, which was quite nice for me to look at in 2023, towards the end of 2023, was this blue goldstone. It's my first sort of exposure to this aventurine material. Really well priced, really nice hands, classic dressy watch looks. That dial is just so deep, so mesmerizing to look at, much better than it looks across on camera. And really nice crown as well, great features. Oh, it's gone. So let's just go back there. So that's definitely one worth checking out if you like that really elegant, high-end dress watch appeal. No hour markers, just plain and simple, amazing dial. And then next up, we're nearing the end, guys. Anything worth talking about? Yes, here. So the San Martin 6.2 mass. Won't spend too long on this one. I mean, the 39mm with its bracelet. So this particular model, they smashed it. I was really impressed with this. I'm not a fan of the larger 6.2 mass watches. As you guys know, I love the 54 watch when we look at that particular design. But this one just worked so well. The bracelet fit was great. Everything was just so much better on this 39mm than it has been on the others. So definitely worth recommending this one. So nearing the end now, the San Martin and Watchdives collaboration, the SNO122, excellent watch. Can't knock it at all. It did surprise me. It looks quite good. I like the collaborations. 39mm, hard to argue with anything here. No sharp edges as well, and I can really say it's a really well made watch. Then we got to watchdives. So yeah, towards the end of the year, I started looking at watchdives watches. This is the Ranger homage. It comes with the quartz movement. I believe it's a mineral glass domed, but build quality, value for money, it's the best one out there. £70 when I reviewed it. Quality and the finishing, not far from San Martin, which is why I say it's like a budget San Martin in my opinion. Crazy watch, right? It's a daily. Looks great, and as I said, the build and the budget, they've got the magic formula. You really can't complain about this one. Talk about Spect and Son now. So I reviewed about 4 or 5 different Spect and Son watches towards the end of the year and the start of the year, and my overview of Spect and Son is as follows. Now, while Spect and Son offer incredible value for money, right, and very reasonable build quality, the watches they've gone for require a high quality finish, and that's my problem with these guys. So you're paying £50, £60, and it does look like a £50, £60 watch, meaning it's a bit scruffy. The finishing, you've got large surfaces of where you need perfect brushing, you need some nice polishing, some beveling, and they can't deliver that. The dial colors are also off. I looked at their news release as well, and you know, that's what sums up Spectre & Son for me in a nutshell. If you want to spend £50, not too fussed on what it looks like in terms of the finishing aspect, yeah, go for it, because this Spectre & Son 37mm PRX homage was perfect on wrist, but looking at it, I wasn't happy with it as well. You know, the scruffy nature, scruffy finishing around the watch, and yeah, the scruffy links, the machining, I just didn't like that a lot. So I think you'd rather just save off and leave it if you can't get it to, you know, a very respectable kind of feel in hand, because when you do a watch like this, it needs to feel that way as well, and it needs to look the part as well, not just kind of look like it, you know. And the last one for the year, I'd say it has to be this Thorn, this titanium Pelagos homage. Came out towards the end of the year. It came out with a really unique link system that totally blew my mind, because I hadn't seen that before. I think it's the best thing since sliced bread, the way you know, size up watches. But that's, you know, if you're changing watches a lot, to have that system. But really, if it's a one watch, you know, it doesn't really matter, but you can just see that link system working there. You know, you can, it's actually genuinely tool free, which is what I loved about it. And aside from that, the looks were good. The bezel rotation was okay, could have been better, but they did well, you know, and they're very reasonably priced as well. So they do deliver on good value for money. So we had a couple through the year of nice watches popping out from these brands that we've not seen nothing for a while. So this is, I think, the last of 2023, definitely in the good category. So that's it from me today, guys. That's my list. These are all the watches, well, the main ones I've pulled out for you. Of course, there was a lot more. You can go through my videos if you wanted to, but these are the ones which I felt like mentioning. And that's it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I'll link as many of these as I can, but I may forget some. But feel free to kind of browse through Aliexpress using that initial link, and you should be able to find what you're looking for. So that's it from me, guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.